Hello everyone, this is part 14 of What If Naruto Had the Ninetails and the Shinigami sealed inside him, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Be sure to like and subscribe, it gives me more motivation. Enjoy. Naruto walked down the path feeling the emptiness in each step he took. Although he didn't show it, he was desperately looking for his friends, Kyoraku, Nanao, and Yoroiki mostly. His pace quickened as he began to get close to the 8th division where his sensei was, of course. As he stepped in, he desperately looked around. The whole place was burnt just like the rest, but it was different. In the other places he walked through, some buildings still stood, but here there was nothing. It was all a flat plateau of burnt wood, flames and S-boss everywhere. Someone must be looking for Kyoraku, Naruto said, thinking out loud. Naruto turned around after searching to see the only building left standing, barely. It was the captain's quarters. Naruto ran over to there and kicked the door down and saw Ukitake lying there. Ukitake was coughing and his face was pale, his stomach had a huge cut, a towel was over it, that towel had a large amount of blood. Ukitake, what happened? Naruto shouted, running to the captain's aid. He destroyed everything, had no mercy on any of us. In one attack, he laid waste to the Soul Society. Ukitake uttered out and continued coughing. Who? Naruto panicked, anger swelled up in him as he thought of Arashi. Arturo. Damn that Ara, wait, Arturo. Arturo Platedo, the first Arrancar, and the most powerful. He had been sealed thousands of years ago, and he resided in Orochimaru. When Orochimaru SD Arturo was released, and he came back to the place that sealed him away, and destroyed it. Why are you here? Where is Kyoraku, Nanao, and Yoroiki? Captured. Arturo has an insane hate for the Wizards. Word goes around quickly about you, Naruto, especially of your powers. He caught on to the fact that you are a wizard. He's luring you to him, Naruto. He's too strong. I doubt you can win at your state. What about you? Why didn't you get Ked? The same reason Kyoraku didn't. We have been trained by the first squad captain. I could only hold him off for so long, with my sickness and all. What about Arashi? He has something to do with this, I know it. Yes, he does. He gave Arturo a list of the people who were dear to you, and they made an alliance. Of course. Where can I find him? It wouldn't be recommended to go after him now, but he is in Hukomundo, dealing with the other Arrancars most likely. What about you? You're injured badly, will you be alright? Ukitake shook his head as blood trickled from his mouth. He then said, no, I don't have much time left, just leave me. You're going to have to find your friends on your own. I can save you though. I know I can. Don't waste your energy, just go find Kyoraku and the others, before it's too late. But, Naruto, a familiar voice said, a stern and odd voice to be exact. Naruto turned around to see Yoroiki in her cat form sitting on the window giving him a stern look. Let him go, you can't save him. Yoroiki, Naruto said, excited to see her but a bit sad to watch his other friend like this. He got up and looked at Ukitake, who grinned and lay back smiling as he closed his eyes for the final time. Naruto dug a hole and put Ukitake in it. He grabbed Ukitake's Zanpakuto and espied them into the ground and put his captain's Haori on top of them. He stood there for a while, then looked behind Yoroiki, who looked back at him. Where are Kyoraku and Nanao? Naruto asked. Arturo captured them before he left. I was lucky enough to escape. They should be in Hukomundo by now. Who knows what is happening to them? But before we can charge in, we need some backup. Naruto felt a weird tingle as his inner hollow appeared as a hologram-like appearance that was still connected to Naruto. Since they are genetically fused now, his inner hollow could faintly phase from his body if he needed to get a say in something. I know someone who might help. His inner hollow said. Who? Naruto and Yoroiki both said. Remember that Ichigo kid, Naruto? Well, when you met face to face with him, I felt an essence. I decided to investigate and found that this kid had an inner hollow as well. So, he's a wizard, just like you. And I know the man who knows where he is, come on. Yoroiki said as she morphed into her human form, this time wearing clothes. The two then stepped toward the gate leading to the human world. Naruto told Yoroiki of what happened, who he met and how he got this sword. Yamato. By the way, Yoroiki, this guy who knows where Ichigo is, who is he? He was once a captain but was banned due to a experiment. His name is Urahara Kisuke. Naruto looked straight ahead as the two entered the gate and appeared in the human world. They began to run toward Konoha, but before entering its gates they ran to Tanzaku town. Naruto noticed many white objects swarming around as they began to lightly jog in the forest. They had red heads and began to bump into Naruto and Yoroiki. More and more began to come as Naruto began to get very annoyed and shoved them out of the way. Blanks. Naruto grabbed my hand. Yoroiki ordered as Naruto did so as they flash-stepped out of the area. The blanks began to chase them. You gotta be kidding me. Naruto groaned as he pulled out Yamato and began to S them up with quick and accurate SS. More and more began to swarm Naruto and basically pinned him to the ground with immense strength. A huge blast emitted from Naruto as the blanks flew back. Naruto's hair began to vaguely turn white as he felt a sharp pain in his chest. He took a knee and clenched his chest. You have my sword, I would like it back. What? Who the hell are you? That isn't important, but what is the fact that you have Yamato? It belongs to me, a son of Spada. Spada? What the hell? Naruto immediately felt like he got slashed repeatedly in the chest as he fell back. Naruto then began to drastically change. He then wore a blue coat and a black shirt thing. He wore tightened gloves and boots. His hair was white and brushed back. The inside of his long coat was gold. He stood up and looked at the blanks that began to slowly come toward him. Naruto. Yoroiki said cautiously. Closing square bracket. Naruto. No. I am Virgil. He said darkly as he slashed the air repeatedly, then sheathed his sword as the blanks all disappeared with the immense power of Yamato. He turned around to face Yoroiki and then asked, "Who is Naruto?" "The boy you just took over. Where the hell did you come from?" Yoroiki shouted. Virgil simply tapped his sword. "The sword? Give Naruto back. You have no business here at all." "Actually, I do," Virgil simply said and walked past Yoroiki, heading for Tanzaku town. "Naruto," Yoroiki whispered, watching Virgil walk away. Hello, and who are you?" A man said, wearing a green haori and a soused bucket hat with blonde hair. He opened the door to see Virgil glaring at him basically. "Dante, where is he?" Virgil stated, looking for no response as he shoved the man out of the way and looked through the room, then said, "I know he's here." The man began to unsheath his sword from his cane as he swiftly SD Virgil in the back. He noticed that his sword stopped in the middle as Virgil's hand and his sword appeared clashing with his blade. "Don't mess with me, or I will K you." The man grinned as the two flipped backwards. Virgil landed on a table where they all ate on and Urahara landed on a chair. The two dashed at each other and began swift attacks with their blades. Virgil was somewhat surprised on how he made sure his attacks didn't L him. Virgil eventually shoved his palm in Urahara's chin hard enough, which slammed him into the wall. Virgil dashed toward him once more and tackled him through the building. Urahara lifted his legs and kicked Virgil in the air with both of his feet, then flash-stepped in the air and kicked Virgil into a window. Unfortunately, Virgil caught Urahara's leg and threw him into the window. Urahara twirled around, aiming away from the window. He shoved his legs on the wall, making that part of the building just crumble as he dashed toward him and began to slash at him rapidly. Each slash from the two became harder and harder until eventually Virgil maneuvered his sword in a way to have Urahara's Zanpakuto fly into the air and SA roof. Virgil pointed his sword to Urahara's N as the bucket hat Shinigami grinned. His hand then glowed as he said, "Hado 58, Tenran." After Urahara said the spell, a huge gust of wind emitted from his hand as Virgil was blown away. Virgil landed on another roof as he saw Urahara grab his sword once more. Urahara flash-stepped in front of Virgil as the two clashed blades once more. "I'm surprised at your strength," Virgil said. "I expected your capability. After all, we are brothers," Urahara said and spun his sword around as his hand glowed. While the two blades were to the left and Virgil a bit puzzled, Urahara slammed his fist into Virgil's chest, which made him thrust backwards. Urahara sheathed his sword and looked back to see Yoroiki running toward him. The bucket hat Shinigami looked back to see Virgil fade away and turning into a blonde-haired boy. Yoroiki leaped up into the air and stood beside Urahara. "Who's the kid?" Urahara asked. "Naruto, Minato's son." "Ah, I've heard a lot about him. Why did you bring him here?" "We need your help. I'll explain once I wake up, Naruto. It's something about that sword I don't like. It turned him into Virgil. You know him. Urahara ignored the question. He turned around and said, meet me back in the shop, we'll talk there. He then flash-stepped away, leaving an irritated Yoroiki. Yoroiki ran over to Naruto and was surprised to see that his clothing changed, but he looked like he was drained. She helped him up, then looked at his clothes. He was wearing a black coat and a white collared shirt, black pants and an orange sash. He wore a headband with an orange swirl. The two threads of the headband that were left when you tie it hung down all the way to his mid-back. He had an orange swirl on the back of his coat as well. What? Naruto asked. Your clothes changed, you were wearing rags until now. Naruto looked down and jumped back in shock. Wow, well that settles the clothes problem. So, where's this Urahara? And how did I end up here? I remember hearing a voice, then falling down. Yoroiki was about to tell him but then just shrugged. She then led him to the shop, which was a bit messed up, because of the bout between Virgil and Urahara. Sorry for the mess, you must be Naruto, I'm Kisuke Urahara, nice to meet you. Urahara said as the two shook hands. He then looked over at Yoroiki, then looked at the two and said, well, back to business, what did you come here for? Yoroiki explained the whole problem with Arturo and how Nanao and Kyoraku have been captured. Naruto crossed his arms while studying Urahara. There was something about him that didn't feel right. Yoroiki then explained how they needed to find out where Ichigo was so they could ask for his help. He and his friends are in Hyuko Mundo. Urahara stated. Still, Naruto said, what? When I was in Hyuko Mundo, which was a few months ago, I saw them travel through the desert. I went to the castle place with them. The time in Hyuko Mundo is very different to the time here, so what seemed like months to you, it's only a few days to them. Makes sense, Naruto muttered. He then looked over at Yoroiki and said, so he's where Kyoraku and Nanao should be, right? Right, so let's go. Can I tag along? I know of some others that could help. Urahara said as he stepped forward. I don't see why not, the more people we get the less chance of us getting ked. Yoroiki said. Well, who do you think can help us? Naruto asked. A group of wizards, I know their leader has a bit of a bone to pick with Aizen. Maybe I can convince them to join. Follow me. Urahara said as he leapt forward. Naruto and Yoroiki followed. Now, you said something about the blanks, right Yoroiki? Yes. Great. Blanks, what are blanks? Naruto asked. Blanks are souls with no memories. They are here mainly because this whole cycle has been broken due to Arturo's appearance. Most likely, they have formed together and had been in their own world, the Valley of Screams, but for some odd reason they are being leaked onto the real world. So that's bad. Yes. Urahara, Naruto, and Yoroiki stayed quiet for the most part. Naruto noticed Urahara and Yoroiki going a bit ahead as they began to whisper about something. Naruto couldn't make out what they were saying, but he didn't want to eavesdrop on them. You're keeping secrets from me, Urahara, how you knew about Virgil, and that sword. Yoroiki whispered. I'll tell you when the time is right. Now we have more important things to do. Urahara said as he landed in front of storage-like area. Well, here we are, now you two stay here while I go talk to them. Urahara said as he placed his hand a few feet from the storage area and then walked in. Naruto looked up at the sky while standing next to Yoroiki. They waited for a few long hours until Urahara stepped out with 8 others. Naruto, Yoroiki, these are the people who will help us on our journey. Urahara said, turning a bit to point at the respective person. This is Kensei Magurama. Hello. Kensei said. He was wearing a sleeveless blue shirt with a white outline, green pants, silver hair, black combat boots, yellow eyes, fingerless orange gloves, and he has a 69 tattooed on his chest. This is Hashigen Ushoda. Hashigen waved. He had pink hair with a black skull and crossbones on it. He is a large man with a green tuxedo and a pink mustache also. He also wears a yellow bow tie. This is Lisa Yadomaru. Naruto blinked and rubbed his eyes. There was a great resemblance between Lisa and Nanao, and it freaked him out a bit. She wore oval glasses and had long black braided hair. She's dressed in a sailor's fuku. She saw Naruto stare at her and she gave a mean scowl which made him look away. This is Hiyori Sarugaki. Hiyori just scoffed. She was a short girl with blonde hair that was worn in pigtails. She wears a red jogging suit decorated with the first kanji of her name. This is Love Aikawa. Sup. Love blankly said. He has on a green jogging suit. his hair is wildly spiky and he wears sunglasses. He is also very tall. This is Mashiro Kuna. Hiya. Mashiro said with excitement in her voice. She wore a white bodysuit with orange gloves and an orange scarf. She has green hair and she wears goggles on her head with the lenses a shade of green. This is Rojiro Otaribashi, but just call him Rose for short. Hey, Rose said. The man wore a thigh-length black coat and a frilly shirt. His hair is long and curly and he wears black pants. And last but not least, this is Shinji Harako, the leader of all these wizards. Hey, Shinji said. He has jaw-length blonde hair with a straight cut. He wears a long brown coat with a shirt and tie. Shinji looked at Naruto and grinned. So, you're a wizard too, eh? Can't wait to see what you can do. Naruto grinned a bit, then looked around at everyone, then said, so this is our team. Everyone nodded with some occasional yeses. Well then, off to Hyuko Mundo. Naruto said as he lifted his fist into the air, everyone getting an anime sweat drop because they knew he had no idea how to get to Hyuko Mundo. I think it'll be best if I led, Urahara muttered as he opened a portal as everyone went into it. A ship half buried in sand stood miles away from a cloaked figure weakly walking. The harsh winds whipped across the cloaked man's face. Luckily the sand and its harsh winds only hit his hood. Even more miles apart stood the Arrancar's palace, Las Noches. The man snarled and continued to walk. Once he had enough strength he would quickly run toward the palace so long until he was out of breath. The man got on his knees and coughed, feeling like he should give up. I made it too far to give up now, I have to keep going, if it were only that easy. The man said to himself and slowly got up and kept walking as he looked around at the night sky. XXX. Naruto, Urahara, Yoroiki, and the wizards all stepped out of the portal. Naruto looked as he saw a small palace on the horizon, Las Noches. Naruto faintly groaned as they all began to walk towards it. Naruto drifted away from Yoroiki and walked beside Lisa, wanting to ask her a few questions. You know, you look like Nanao. I know. So you know her? Yes, since she was a kid. Interesting, how was she like? Determined, why exactly do you care? Oh, no real reason, just thought I'd start up a conversation. Naruto said before awkwardly laughing and speeding up towards Yoroiki once more. As they continued to walk it seemed like everyone was getting a bit tired, so Urahara decided to camp out. Everyone was sleeping, except Naruto and Urahara. Urahara was simply standing looking at the moon while Naruto was sitting and thinking. A sudden pulse ran through Naruto's body as he grabbed his chest. Ah, not again. Naruto thought as his hair began to grow silver and his coat began to go blue. Urahara noticed this and quickly grabbed him and flash-stepped him away from the group. The bucket hat Shinigami then threw Naruto down and stepped on his chest, then pointed his sword at his en as he awaited the transformation into Virgil. Naruto tried to fight it. Many words were going through his mind like corruption, Spada, amulet, power. Weird images also came through his mind. It seemed like flashbacks, but Naruto never recalled going to any of the places he was seeing. He eventually turned into Virgil, who was glaring at Urahara. I thought you would come out sooner or later. Urahara said. Why did you call me brother? Why else? I didn't think my disguise was this good, now tell me. Why exactly did you escape and transform from Naruto again? To find my brother. And what's his name? Dante. Bingo, congratulations, you found him. What are you talking about? You have no resemblance to him whatsoever. Oh really? Well, watch this, Urahara said as he unsheathed his sword. Let's rock. For you Devil May Cry fans, you must know where part of that line comes from, and if you do, yes, I know it's a bit cheesy. Urahara was then engulfed in a red aura, his sword, Benihime, transformed into a silver demonic sword, Rebellion. Urahara's coat then turned red and his inner tunic turned black, and he had black jeans with odd cowboy boot-like things. That's impossible, you're a Shinigami. Yeah, I know it's tough to believe, but I didn't only achieve my devil trigger when you espered me with my own sword. I unlocked Shinigami powers. I didn't know until after you had your moment that I had achieved it. I decided to live on the real world and not go to the Soul Society, but I then learned that the only people that can see me are other Shinigami, or humans with enough Ryatsu, and that was a few, which wasn't good for business, you know. I then moved to Konoha and got an appearance and got under the name Urahara so my enemies couldn't find me. Too bad I didn't expect you to come back after I saw you in that castle, Nello Angelo. I can only release my true form in Shikai, now get back in your sword. Dante said as he espered Virgil using demonic energy to shove him back in Yamato. He quickly pulled back his sword as he saw Naruto passed out. He simply picked him up and laid him where he was. He then turned back into his human form and sighed, then went back to looking at the sky. Once everyone woke up, they all began to travel once more. Since everyone could flash step, they began to flash step long distances to get to Las Noches. Naruto didn't know why we didn't do this earlier, and he also didn't know why there was a wound on his stomach. He was getting a bit worried about all these blackouts. The man reached Las Noches and found a spiky blue-haired Arrancar lying on the ground halfway covered in sand. The man was shocked on how this person was still alive, seeing as the Arrancar suddenly opened his eyes once he came along. Well, look who it is, Sasuke, Uchiha. Grimmjow, how did you survive? Well, it's an interesting story, when you threw me off that building there. Grimmjow stopped to the building with a repaired hole in it, then continued. I passed out, I woke up about an hour ago actually, people presumed me and just kicked sand over my corpse. This material on me that all Arrancars have covered my wound. Oddly enough, I was too weak to move until now, and just in time. Grimmjow said and stood up, unsheathing his sword and pointing it to his N. Sasuke summoned his sword and pointed it at Grimmjow's N. This time I'll make sure you don't survive. You underestimate me. Before they began, they heard a huge explosion and large amounts of debris fly off the palace and aimed at the two. They both got out of the way and found dark portals everywhere. An Arrancar that had fired that blast was the first one out, then a lot of others coming out as well. Arturo, Sasuke whispered as he and Grimmjow were silent. XXX. Naruto and the others arrived at Las Noches and looked up to see the dark portals. Naruto saw a figure in an orange mask and knew it was Arashi. He growled, but Yoroiki pulled him back so he didn't go charging at them. Arturo and Arashi are attacking Las Noches. This is bad. How? We're not part of it. Hiyori said. Not yet, but when they see that wizards came here in our Arrancar territory, they will think we are going to attack just like Arashi and them came. Basically it will be a huge battle with Arrancar, wizards, and whatever Arashi and them are. Shinji said you could tell by his tone that he wasn't liking this, but it had to be done. I sense my other half. Kyuubi said within Naruto's subconscious. He could tell she was weak, but he couldn't do anything to help until he got his sword back. Yeah, Arashi is here. If there was a good time to get back my sword, it would be now. I don't know if you're ready, Naruto. He's too strong. Yeah, well, that's not going to stop me. If my father can beat him, I think I can. He SD after that fight. Quote. Naruto snapped back to reality to hear Kensei ask, so what's the plan? Well, we're gonna wait here. If none of us notice us, part of our group will go and rescue Nanao and Kyoraku. I'm pretty sure Naruto and Yoroiki will be good for that. And while they go and rescue them and they do notice us, we're gonna have to fight. We can't run when Yoroiki and Naruto attempt to rescue them. Sounds good to me, Kensei said as Hiyori agreed. The rest grunted a bit, but there was no real complaint. Now, Yoroiki, Naruto, sneak into Las Noches once this battle gets underway. It shouldn't be too hard, don't get caught. Right, Naruto and Yoroiki said as they began to slowly walk over to Las Noches. Isn't Ichigo here? Naruto asked. Yes, why? We should rescue him too. We'll see how this goes. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.